Alright, hello everyone, it's Diamond Legend, and today, I want to talk about a favorite series of mine, that being Deadman Wonderland. This was a show that I used to watch back in 2011, when it aired on Adult Swim. I couldn't wait for the next batch of episodes to come out, and when it did, I couldn't be more hyped to tune in every Saturday night. It's really unfortunate that the anime only had about 12 episodes and didn't get a second season. And for years, I've clung to the hope that maybe season 2 would arrive one day. But unfortunately that hasn't happened, and I doubt it will. Which is why I decided to read the manga. It was only this year that I finally read the manga, just so I could have some closure on such a beloved series such as this. There are about 50 chapters of Deadman Wonderland, so I recommend giving it a read. In case you've forgotten, or want to know the plot summary of this series, I'll discuss it right now. The story follows the main protagonist named Ganta Igarashi. He's at school, which seems like an average day. That is until a mysterious man in red, floating outside the class window, destroys his classroom, killing everyone inside and leaving Ganta as the only survivor. He's then struck with a mysterious gem on his chest by the killer. He's blamed for the killings, due to him being the only person that was alive, and is sent to Deadman Wonderland, a prison that uses its inmates as entertainment for the public. It turns out, that strange gem on his chest gives him the power that is known as a branch of sin. With that, he's now considered a dead man, with his new blood abilities. As the story progresses, he'll soon find out that other inmates have special branches of sin powers just like him. With these powers, inmates are forced to kill each other, just to live another day in these games known as Carnival Corpse, as well as eating a piece of candy every so often to keep their collars from killing them. During his stay, he mysteriously runs into his old childhood friend named Shiro, who's been expecting him to arrive. And together, Ganta, Shiro, and several other unlikely allies will try their best to escape, as well as uncovering the mystery of Deadman Wonderland. Now, there are some characters that have shown up during the events of Season 1, but they only appeared in the manga. I'm not sure why they were left out in the anime's adaptation, or even Yo taking Azumi's role in the anime. Nevertheless, they're still good characters. I won't be discussing the characters and how they develop, as I'm only explaining the ending of the series. I wouldn't mind talking about these characters for another video. So let's skip over a few parts and dive into the manga. That way we can discuss the ending. We begin our story after the events of Season 1. Tamaki reveals to the public that he's keeping these prisoners in here due to their dangerous abilities. Tamaki is then creating artificial deadmen to destroy the wretched egg, the same person who trapped Ganta in prison. As the story progresses, Ganta is captured once again by Tamaki. But before anything can happen, Ganta is then rescued. Along the way, they run into Makina, who's been trying to stop Tamaki herself. She tells the main cast that there's a device to stop the fake deadmen who are attacking them. The group will handle the complete and perfect artificials, while Ganta, Shiro, and Azumi destroy the device that controls the normal artificials. The ones who are wearing the mask, that is. Shiro, being weak to continue after having to fight, is brought back to rest with Azumi while Ganta goes on ahead. As you already know, Shiro is the Red Man, or better known as the Wretched Egg. The same character Ganta swore to kill for putting him in this place. Something happens and Shiro snaps into Wretched Egg. Toto, who is known as the Mockingbird, soon arrives to bring Shiro with him. And before Azumi can put together what's happening, Toto slices her head off and tells Shiro to come with him. Makina and the others catch up to Tamaki, who is trying to escape. Just before anything could happen, Toto arrives and throws everyone's plans in the gutter. He approaches Tamaki, stating that he's the one who's really in control, and that his plans are close to complete, and that he's going to kill him. Before Toto could finish him, Tamaki takes his own life. Ganta arrives and notices Tamaki dead along with Azumi's head being held by Wretched Egg. Ganta screams, wanting to know where Shiro is. Wretched Egg replies, saying that Shiro is dead. The wretched egg ends up destroying the floor below Ganta, causing him to fall. Before he could completely hit the ground, he shoots the red man's mask, revealing it to be Shiro herself, the main antagonist of the story. Todo retreats with Shiro, while the group collects themselves and rushes to get Ganta and escape as well. With all of the chaos that was ensuing, Deadman Wonderland is permanently shut down, leaving our main cast going to court and being cleared of their false charges and can live normal lives again. Now that everything is settled, Karuko approaches Ganta. She tells him that her alongside everyone else is returning to Deadman to kill Todo and Shiro so they can't pose a threat to the outside world. Ganta knows that killing the red man would mean killing Shiro. He says that it's his goal to kill the wretched egg, so he chooses to join them, knowing this person used to be his friend. When they approach the prison, Shiro arrives to greet them. She begins to ask Ganta if he has what it takes to kill her. Ganta tells everyone that he needs to personally put her down, as he still cares for her. Makina tells the group that they'll need to take control of something known as the Mother Goose system. It's a device meant to keep Ratchet Egg's powers in check. And if they don't do something, she has the power to potentially destroy all of Tokyo. Everyone begins to figure out a way to control the system. While that's happening, Ganta is heading off to confront Shiro, and Senji is going to deal with Todo. Ganta and Shiro have a moment to speak with one another. Shiro brings up her two split sides, and says that she hates herself, and leaves. These split sides being Shiro and the other being Wretched Egg, Senji is having an all-out battle with Todo. He even goes as far as to evolve his branch of sin, similar to Ganta at the end of Season 1. But it doesn't do much to defeat Todo. Just before Todo could kill Senji, Ganta comes back, saying that he'll cooperate, just as long as Senji doesn't die. Todo says that his body is deteriorating and needs a new host, and to come with him so they can switch bodies. Once the both of them are in their chairs, they begin the process. As it's happening, we see that the man who's asking to swap bodies is the person who truly owns Deadman Wonderland, and has been experimenting on several people for his own personal pleasure. His name is Shiro, and he's been experimenting on Shiro, inflicting torture and trauma until she develops a new personality. We also find out why Ganta didn't remember her. It's due to the fact that he was scarred after witnessing Shiro kill everyone in the lab, thus erasing and blanking out all that he knew about her. He also comes to realize that his mother was assisting in Renichiro's plan as well. After having this much information about the past, Senji comes back and slices the device that connected them. With this, Ganta and Senji attack Todo, aka Renichiro. Once they believe he's dead, they arrive to the Mother Goose system, and Ganta uses his branch of sin to override it, in order to stop Shiro. Renichiro soon arrives and makes one last effort to stop them. The Deadmen go for an all-out attack, leaving Ganta to deliver the final blow, putting Todo to rest and permanently erasing any trace of Renichiro. Ganta then heads up to Shiro, and knows what he has to do next. Shiro explains more about her past to him, saying she became a substitute, and was fully aware that Ganta's mother was in on it. Ganta's mother was going to use her own son as a test subject, but had a change of heart, and took Shiro away from her family, and became a test subject herself. She blames Ganta for her despair and hatred. He apologizes for not being there, and knows very well that he has to put her down to end her misery. She says thanks, as she wants to be put down. The two have an intense battle. Ganta begins to have doubts about killing her, as he confesses his feelings towards her, despite the pain she's caused him. Ganta fires his attack but misses on purpose as to not kill her. He tells her that she doesn't really want to die. Shiro breaks down and says that all she ever wanted to do was live a normal life. Ganta tells her that they'll live a good life together, and have a good time eating food and being happy when they leave Deadman Wonderland. She rushes in to hug him. As this happens, both of their crystals shatter from going all out in battle, thus removing each other's powers permanently, making them regular people again. Their powers destroy Deadman Wonderland in a giant explosion. Senji and the rest of the group escape safely. The story finally comes to a close when we see all of the characters being able to live normal lives again. Even though Senji and the others have powers still, they can live peaceful lives and become members of society again, having schools and jobs. Ganta visits Shiro at the hospital, giving her new info about his life and what's been happening. As he leaves, Ganta remembers the woodpecker song that was played for the two when they were younger, and asks Shiro if she'll listen to the song with him again, causing her to wake up with a smile on her face. And that's how the story ends. And that was Deadman Wonderland. Deadman Wonderland has to be probably on my top 5 favorite series of all time. That includes anime and manga. This was a story that I fell in love with since I first watched it, all the way back in 2011. And rewatching it again, it holds up. You know, there are some things that you can call out as flaws, but overall, it's still good to watch. Even reading the manga and seeing all the differences that were made, it's still good to see everything still play out, even though there were some changes to it. And seeing each character individually evolve and become better people, and they fight their inner demons, and also battle whoever it is that they're battling, and really come to a full closure of themselves, was really impactful and really inspiring, and just overall great to see each person had their own moments to shine. So it wasn't just Ganta and Shiro the entire story. Everyone had their own part to play, and each person grew as characters, and I do appreciate that. This was probably one of the best endings I've seen. The best. It was done super well, and for a show that caused so much sadness and despair and just emotions all around, with so many casualties and deaths, having a peaceful ending such as this was something satisfying. It was just satisfying. Being able to finally read this manga and putting it to rest and coming with a good conclusion, it put a smile on my face. It was definitely something that was worth reading. Very good, truly good. So that was Deadman Wonderland. Hope you did enjoy it. With that being said, this has been Diamond Legend, and I'm off.